Hey guys, so today you and I are going to talk about .NET development and knowing all the things. So let's get into it. So the question in question was, Hi Frederick, I am working as a .NET software developer in Gothenburg. Woo! We're practically brothers now, dude. And I see that there's a big market around here. I get some job requests sometimes, but the companies request a lot. They require me to be able to work with Node.js, Nope Commerce, don't know what that is, TSQL, MongoDB, TypeScript, Java, Python, Umbraco, WordPress, and a lot of other stuff. Of course, I exaggerate a bit, but sometimes these companies don't know what's the difference between a .NET developer and, for example, a Node.js developer. I have to say that I like to use other technologies besides .NET, but the interviews can be a little tricky, especially for me when I only have a few years of experience at the same company. Did you have this problem too? Well, I don't think I've ever been in an interview where someone asked me to know a stack that is as diverse as what you're describing. But since you're saying that you're exaggerating a little bit, maybe I'm in the wrong here. Maybe we should cut the Gothenburg companies a little bit of slack, because the average thing that I see is that usually the trend here, and this I would like to think, or I know so actually, is usually true globally, and that is that the more diverse a tech stack is, the worse for the company in general terms. We're talking about, in general terms, if you have a really like a large suite of tools, you are worse off as a company. Now, the reason for that is, especially if you're in a product company or something like that, and this is what we're going to touch on as well, like the circumstances of this. Because if, in general terms, what it represents is one of two things. Either that the company is a product company and a really poorly managed product company that either gets by through really dumb technical decisions or acquisition, which is practically the same thing. The second scenario is that it is a consultancy. Now, a consultancy is a different thing, because as a consultancy you might have to find yourself working in a lot of different stacks, because simply put, all your customers have their own systems or they have their own requirements of stuff that you need to be doing. And that means that it puts more pressure on you as a developer. And all of a sudden you need to know more than any other developer needs to know, or any reasonable developer who needs to know within a product company, just to get through the door. But here's the thing. Now, I have said this before, and I still stand by this. There's usually just two types of companies who have a sliver of a hope to get anybody through the door, to like actually get a hire anywhere, and it depends a little bit on the company. But when someone sticks such an outlandish, like a really diverse tech stack on a job posting site, what they're doing is that they're trying to show you an ideal person. This is what you should know if you're the perfect fit for us. That doesn't mean that you have to know all of it. That's one scenario. The other scenario is that they're stupid, dumb to the point where they bought into this idea that the only people that they should hire are rockstar developers. And trust me when I say this, you do not want to work, even if you have those skills, especially if it's a product company that has such a diverse tech stack. Because let's just explain this, guys. Having a lot of diverse tooling, and especially multiple languages in the same code base, is like it's an anti-pattern in every single system. The only companies who usually have such diversity are companies who are running microservices, or and even in that scenario it might actually not be a good idea. It depends on the technical decisions, right? But it's usually a big red flag. You should know that even at Google scale, they don't have have like every single language under under the sun in their whole system. It's usually there is a lot of value to try to keep these things focused because of this exact problem. Nobody knows all of it, and you really want to be able to get people readily who can focus and actually get something done instead of having tons and tons and tons of choices, because choice is actually not a good idea, especially not when they're basically doing the same thing. So what I think that you should remember is that although you may not know all of these things, you can still go to the there's nothing stopping you from applying to a position where they're asking for more stuff than you actually know, and just show them your portfolio. The worst thing that can happen is that they don't reply back. That's it. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't, as I said, like most of the companies, they don't actually expect to find somebody who knows everything. I don't think ever I've been to a job interview where the expectation was that I knew everything, that we really checked that out. Like, I don't think I have everything on. It's practically impossible for you to build a sustainable career as a software developer by trying to be everything. You're not going to be able to do that. It's impossible. So you have to make some bets. And those bets, I've told you many times before, is best placed on the big stuff. Core skills, things that are like that's the best investment. Core skills, like things that are true for all programming languages, like really knowing your stuff, and then looking at the big tools, the big popular stacks. These are the good bets, because all the other stuff, like all this other diversity, most companies, as I said, they're willing to overlook a lot of stuff if you have the core skills and you have a good foundation knowledge and you know things that will make you productive, because that's at the end of the day what most of them are after. Then you have the other people. No, I'm not going to use any words because I try to be a nice person. But the other people who are looking for rockstar developers, and you see, they are usually either thick as fuck or they give up. Because the thing is, guys, everybody buys into this idea that, well, we're just going to hire the best of the best. And I'm going to give you a dirty secret. You don't hire the best of the best, because the best of the best doesn't want to work for you if you're this stupid. If you're literally as dumb as saying that they should know all of these different things, and that is a hard requirement. I would say what usually is true, that is, and this is just, now I'm getting really personal, the thing that is usually true about this is, number one, the company's either so, as I said, stupid or thick that they don't actually know what they're asking for. Because if you're looking for a master Java, Python, and TypeScript and Node.js developer all in one go, I'm not just assuming that this is a fictional thing, because no living coder is going to be a master of all of those things. Maybe they don't have to be, but what I'm trying to say here is that as the guy and the girl who is applying to the job, guys, you have to understand that the company might be the problem. You might not be the problem. It might be that they're idiots, that they don't know what they're doing. And I promise you, there are a lot of companies who have no fucking clue how to hire developers. Some of them are hiring their first developer. They don't know anything about it. So just because it says something on a CV or a job posting, that doesn't mean that that's the reality. It might be that they're just out there. And that's why I say that the first scenario is usually that the people who are trying to just get these rockstar developers, they usually don't know any better, and they give up. They finally they get wise and they realize that nobody's replying. You're trying to find someone, and usually pay them not that much, to go in and basically do all of these different things, when there's literally a deficit that is so massive that most companies pay hundreds of thousands to find one developer who knows their stack. The other scenario is, which I've seen more than once, is that the reason why they're looking for people that are this diverse is because the company is in such a shitty position that, because of bad technical decisions and so forth, that they actually need someone to come in and, ideally with some seniority, to help them, because they have made very poor decisions along the way, and now they're stuck in a really shitty position where they're desperate to find anybody to just to be able to deal with all of this stuff. And trust me when I say this, you do not want to be that person. You don't want to be the savior who has to come in and go through a river of crap to just get the company back on track. So what I want you to take away from this is that if you see a really long job postings, think of these things as an ideal. If you have enough of the big ones, because that's the thing, the big stuff, if you have that on your CV and you feel comfortable with that, don't be afraid to send in a resume. Like, don't be afraid to contact them. The worst thing that can happen is that they don't reply. And if they really do look for these rock star developers, trust me when I say this, odds are more likely that they will change their requirements before the year is done than they're going to find someone who is that diverse, who actually wants to work for them. It's a fictional unicorn type of developer, and sure, they do exist. I know that they exist because I've met them, but these people are not someone who you can't bet your company's future on finding such an individual. Have a great day.